Okay, so I definitely want to get into some of the work that both of our organizations, together with actually Kai from Studio Dojo, have been looking at that affects organizational health and organizational effectiveness, and that has a lot to do with mental well-being, right? So I think my team at Common Ground, we worked with Studio Dojo, who I interviewed in season 1, on this 2-year-long research project into how organizations can support mental well-being at work. And that was a huge passion project, and it was kickstarted by my teammate Shi Hui, who I also interviewed in season 1. And she had her own lived experiences. So this was a huge deal for her. She really wanted to get into it. She interviewed 30 young professionals who were super candid about their own experiences of how their organizations handled their mental health challenges. And Kai convened 18 volunteer experience designers to pull out what insights they got from these 30 professionals. And when we looked at all of the insights, it was quite clear that the workplace is a major strategic intervention point for mental well-being in our system. And it was also very clear that many managers and leaders were not prepared to handle it. Right? They were not sure, is this our responsibility? Right? But I kind of want them to be productive. So I guess it's my responsibility, but this feels very out of place. One key insight was help me thrive, not just survive. Please take care of my wellness, not just my illness. What is the difference for you between organizations that help people thrive and organizations that help their people just survive?
I think if you want to help a person to thrive, is you have to develop a person as a whole person. If I come into the workplace and I'm struggling with something and I'm not able to say it right. So in this process, I have to hide this somewhere. Because they cannot say it. That will definitely affect the mental wellness of the person. For many people, right? Many of them just need to talk about it. They may not need sophisticated support. But they just need to be able to talk about it.
If I have to appeal to the smarty pants out there listening to this, talking about it is helpful, meh?
Yeah,
right?
It
and
is.
See it as when you help someone to talk about all the stuff that's underneath the surface, you are helping them to process out in language the emotions or just the sensations that they're going through that would never have another space to process it. And they don't necessarily need to go to a professional therapist just yet.
No.
Even an ordinary citizen
Can do it.
who is basically compassionate enough to give you a sweet, warm smile and genuinely want to listen and just say share with me what's going on. That's actually having a therapeutic effect.
Yeah, it's sufficient because we do that with our friends all the time, you know. Your friends may get into some trouble at work, but he or she can't talk about it at work. Then she will just look for you over the weekend. Hey, can we meet up? And then we just talk, right? The idea that I can just talk about it, release some tension, and sometimes in the process of talking, I have a shift of perspective. I felt more understood. I go okay, got it. I'm more ready to work. So actually just talk. It's not complicated.
I also want to unpack that phrase of that insight, right? Of please take care of my wellness, not just my illness. What would be the signs that you would strongly urge organizations to pay attention to? This person is slowly being not well. What does it look like?
The simple answer is behavior change. That's the shortest I can give. Meaning, if this person used to be very chatty, suddenly become more quiet. They stop communicating. Medical health, they seem to take more MC. All those are actually telltale signs to tell you that actually it's going down that route. You know, the level of engagement that the staff have with the colleague and the work, it will start to show up. So if they start to pick up all these small little signs and start, hey, let's talk, what is going on? It will actually solve a lot of the mental illness problem. Because if you take care of the mental health, you don't have to take care of the illness.
Yeah.
The thing is, we don't take care of the mental health. So end up we have to deal with whatever comes later on. Yeah. But the reality is, even you take care of the mental health, there is still a chance that mental illness will come in.
Yes.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, most of us only need our mental health to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's actually quite hard for all of us to appreciate that we are on the spectrum.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of circumstance or time or chance that might cause us to go like maybe 2 steps or 3 steps down the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
That there is a well-being spectrum that you can easily like Google so you can figure out what I mean, right? But it basically, the highest point is like you are flourishing or thriving.
Yep.
And then like you're doing, and if I go 1 step down, it's like I'm doing okay, I'm surviving, and then it like really goes all the way down to like I'm in crisis, right? And so what, in your experience, can cause a team member to slip into from surviving to suddenly struggling and crisis?
Normally, there will be a couple of back-to-back crises that the person have to deal with.
Yep.
And at least in my workplace, most of the crises are not related to work. Most of the crises are something happened at home, like a loved one passed away and the person don't have time to grieve, and then someone hospitalized and they get exhausted over a period of time. Yeah, and those are things that if as an employer you start to pay attention to, you can actually tell. It doesn't happen overnight. That's why creating a space that the staff can just talk about, hey, you know what, I'm struggling with this. I don't have time to...
Oh, this is what's going on.
This is what is going on. You know, I don't have time to grieve about the death of my loved one.
Yes.
Just having that space, right? You kind of like can go like, okay, so that is one crisis.
Yes.
If 3 weeks later, something else pop up again, like, there is 2 crises. I need to pay attention to this person. Yeah, so it doesn't slip just overnight. It happens. But most people in the workplace don't have a space to talk about it.
Yes.
Because I'm not supposed to talk about personal thing, right?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I think it drives me crazy whenever like people I work with, like orgs I work with, say like, you know, like we should just be professional at work. We can't be personal. And I'm like, the professional is a person. The professional is bringing the personal every day to work.
Every day.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes.
And whether you know it or not. So you might as well ask, what's the personal going on underneath this professional? Yeah,
I think there is at least in my opinion, there's a confusion about the word being professional. That's my opinion.
Same on.
In my opinion, being professional means that, hey, I'm delivering the work and I still can say that, hey, I'm struggling with something.
Yes.
To me, that is professional because when you tell me you are struggling with something, then you can then tell me that, hey, I may not finish on time. Yeah, to me, that is professional. You are able to articulate what is going on for you. And then because I understand what is going on for you, then we can negotiate. Yeah, but if you don't say it right, the next thing I know is your work is 2 weeks late.
I want to unpack like this other insight that we got. And it's also to give a shout out to the employer who's listening to all this and saying like, I asked them what's going on. They don't say anything and only say when they finally collapse.
Yeah.
Right. And so the insight that we got from, especially from the employer's point of view, is I can't act on something I don't know is happening. And a lot of employers say, look, I have really good intentions. I want to support, but I'm always kept in the dark about the real situation. And even when I ask them a direct question, they're indirect to me about what's going on. So how could a leader check in or really support an employee who they suspect is in struggle, but doesn't seem to say?
Yeah.
What would you advise?
First, it must be a cultural thing.
Yep.
That means as a culture of the workplace, there is the culture of talking about things. If the space doesn't have that culture, they are not going to tell you anyway. Yeah, so to me, first is you need to establish a culture and practice of that staff are able to do that. And sometimes it means start from you as a leader.
Yes.
Do you share with your team members some of the struggle you have?
Yes.
Back at home?
Yeah.
Or even at work? Do you do that? My staff first join me, they go like, no, this cannot be true. Now you say bring whole self to work. No, it's not going to happen. It's all bullshit, Yes. Yeah, but it takes a while. It takes like a few months for them to work. Then they go like, wow, you really meant what you said. I say, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean we can really talk about things like this?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because for many people, it's very confusing for them.
It is.
It's not normal from the workplace they have.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a culture thing. You need to nurture it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we also need to be mindful that the staff will not tell you everything.
Yes.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
Then the question is there someone else the staff can talk to?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the next safe person?
Yeah. So when you create a culture where people are used to talking, if my staff don't talk to me, they always know they can talk to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely want to encourage especially any small business owners who are running like small teams and you feel like I don't have like a huge like HR team here. What can I do? And what's this big thing about like culture? What's a culture? A culture is really just a sum total of beliefs and behaviors.
Yep.
And cultural change sounds like really sophisticated, but if you look at that definition, it just means if you are willing to change a certain belief that you have and you change your behavior and you do it repeatedly, you are doing cultural change.
Yep.
And the simplest thing you can do right now is, as Yen Kai said, you can have those conversations.
Yep.
And if you say, let me appoint at least someone in the team to be like the designated safe person, right? Even that is an interesting intervention in your team culture.
Yep.
And then you see whether that works.
Yep.
Like in my own team, like I realize there's definitely a power differential.
Yeah.
Right? Like no staff can unsee the fact that I am boss.
Yes.
Right? And maybe there are things that genuinely you feel, I'm not sure I can bring it up to boss.
Yep.
So on my team, I do have a person who heads process and people development. That's like her core work.
Yep.
So there is a designated excuse to go in and I'm here to support your process. I'm here to support your own development. What you need right now, what's working, what's not working. And she would usually be the first port of call for people to start sharing a little bit about what's going on. And she doesn't need to come back to me and like, oh, by the way, ABC is going through XYZ. That's not the point of it. But the point is at least someone gets a sense of what people on the team might be struggling with and then can make a judgment call about like, is there a process that needs to be changed in the org? Is there something that needs to be flagged up? And I think that's a really simple intervention that anyone can do, especially if you're in a leadership position. I want to go back to like the third insight of if I am performing, I must be okay. And that speaks into a phenomenon, right, where a lot of high performers, and Singapore is full of high performers, where you make the mistaken assumption of, well, if I am still delivering good work, if I'm still producing good stuff, I can pretend or I can actually believe I can't be doing that bad. And the organization can also think they can't be doing that badly. They're still delivering their work. So there's such a thing as like high-performing anxiety. High-performing like depression, right? Why is it so hard for high performers to see and admit that they are struggling?
I think one big part of it is because we reward high performance. We see that if you are performing, we will reward you. But if you're not performing, we will not reward you. So therefore, as someone that has high performance, right, I'm not going to say that I'm struggling with things.
Because I want the reward.
Because I want the reward, number one. Number two, I may be seen as weak. Right. I'm not able to manage myself very well.
So how would you help organizations see that there could be mental well-being or psychological safety issues amongst their best workers?
Let's talk.
Oh my goodness, like someone's listening to this and being frustrated. Just talk. Like,
it's really like, like when I see someone performing, I may say, hey, I see that you're doing well. You know, is there some challenges that you're dealing with that we can help you with? Just get used to having the conversation. Of course, when someone is performing well, they are likely to say, no, there's nothing going on. Right? They are likely to do that. At the same time, you can say that, but do you know you look tired? Do you want to talk about that? Yeah, just giving people an opportunity to talk about what they are not aware of, or they may in denial of.
Yeah.
Just start talking and just make it a habit to do that.
Yes.
Doesn't matter you're performing well or not.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what is going on.